Yes, court in session again another week with me, Elk, and Alan Pinder, the Belgian scout, and Kelan Phillips. He's Avenger only one, but a little birdie time, he's a little bit more than that. But I mean, we'll keep that one for later. But yeah, Kelan, let me talk about the Celtics.
Yeah.
You concerned that the Celtics playing like 500 ball at this time?
Concern is interesting because their defense hasn't been as sharp as it was to start or how it usually is. I watched a couple of videos and some stats that we're talking about their defense. Al Horford is finally looking his age. Like we always knew that he was old, but like he could still handle himself to a certain extent. But no, it's really starting to show a little bit more, which is fine. I mean, like you're not expecting him to be that kind of guy forever, so it's understandable. The numbers with Chris Stapps on the floor versus off are pretty jarring. Like the last 10 days are not 10 games, so basically almost a month. I think their rating, their offense is a lot worse when he's on, and defense is a lot better when he's off. I think that rating too says the same thing. And they're kind of going through a shooting slump, right? They're not hitting the shots that they usually hit. And then on top of that, when you have a team that shoots so many shots, like outside shots, the days that you aren't hitting, that's when it really should, obviously. But that could be attributed to the long road of the season. That could be, sometimes teams go through slumps through the season. It's an 82 game scam thing. It's hard to be motivated and locked in for an entire 82 game, especially now when you are the defending champs or a champion and regular season is just you kind of ramping up for when the playoffs start. So if it starts to get a habit, especially defensively later on in the season, I think that's when it's going to be a problem. But for now, shooting, it's kind of a slump. So it will kind of come and go as the season goes on.
What were you, Alan? What do you think?
Yeah, Kelan made some good points there. I'm kind of hoping this cause for concern. I'm not a huge Celtics fan, right? So, right? People earlier had a lot of issues early season about the amount of threes that teams were shooting, and when the points I made was that it's really only one team doing that.
Mm-hmm.
That's shooting 53s. So I'm kind of hoping that part of the auto correction, I think the NBA is going to be is that the Celtics will probably have to lose this year at some point in time. So hopefully some cracks in the armor maybe showing a little bit right now. Also hope, the Drew Holiday has not been playing as well either. His 3-point shooting has been kind of weird. The team's 3-point shooting has been down given the volume of threes that they want to put up, like you were mentioning too. If they have that volume and they're not hitting as well, it's going to be a serious issue. So I think it could be cause of concern. A lot of people were saying they had an easy path last year with a lot of the injuries and stuff. The teams that were pretty much all of the teams that they've been against had some serious injuries. So I think it might be a little cause for concern, but yeah, it's more like it's just, a little bit of molasses this point in the season. But I think it's something to keep an eye on for sure. What you mentioned about Chris Stotts is a little bit interesting because people figure, well, once he's back, no, it's all over, right? That's like perfect. That's like their perfect form, man. It really has not worked out that way. I'll hope for not playing as well, no, too. Yeah, I think it could lead to something. So I'm kind of hoping it low-key is, but you'll see.
One more point quick too about the defense. What is also interesting or something that could lead to why their defense also isn't as good. Peyton Pritchard, right? He's gotten a lot more minutes and has a bigger role this year than last year, right? He's very good offensively, especially as that spark off the bench. But the reality is, defensively, he's small. He's not that good of a defender. And teams have been attacking him, right? Especially, remember, it was the the game again. It was Christmas Day. Who they pick Christmas Day? 76ers. Maxie was like, "Yeah, you come in, come. Hey, come. 1-on-1, come. You can't guard me." So like that can be an issue if he's gonna be playing a huge role and teams kind of tie him. I don't know if there's gonna be any adjustments. Maybe Missoula might have a scheme where they can hide him a little bit better on defense. But yeah, that Peyton Pritchard having a bigger role and not being as good of a defender is also a reason why their defense hasn't been as good.
Okay.
I guess when you have True Holiday falling 3-point shooters, the last second
Yeah.
near half court,
Yeah.
the game on the lane too, that could be a little problematic as well too.
It's true.
I just think the board, I think they're waiting for the playoffs.
Or maybe the All-Star break.
Yeah. So after the All-Star break, I really then look and see who doing what. If you're still struggling after the All-Star break, that's a concern. You see after that All-Star break, and you see who's the contenders and who's the pretenders. So
although I did hear an interesting study out there, I'm not sure how true it is, but they say how teams play in January is more indicative of how they probably will perform in the playoffs. So we could probably stick a pin in that and see how that actually, if they happen to struggle in the first or second round, you know, the season in January, who knows?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, what about the All Stars in the East? Alan, it's been very interesting All Star voting, and they got some people that may find themselves out the All Star that should be in. So tell me what the All Stars in the East.
Yeah, right now for the guards in the East, LaMelo Ball and Donovan Mitchell are the top two guards there. I am not a fan of LaMelo Ball being leading vote getter for the guards. He's put us some great numbers, but he's extremely inefficient. Still a little surprised he's getting as many votes from the fans, but I guess we'll see how the coaches and how the media shake out with the voting, because as you know, the media and the players and the coaches they do contribute to the starters voting, but
yeah.
Probably going to be starting. I would probably sub him in with Jalen Brunson. Brunson's been really good, and he's a lot more successful and a lot more efficient. I would probably start those two in the backcourt for the East. For the front court, yeah, I think I will keep this as it is with Giannis, Tatum, and Jones as the 3 front court spots. I think that's pretty solid right now. Surprised Bankier has gotten as many votes as he's gotten.
Yeah.
Even he's already played this year.
Yeah.
But he's really good. I think talent-wise is probably justified. And that's probably why he got it. But just to give me he's hardly played this at all this year. It's impressive. He has a lot more fans than I thought he would at this point in his career. So.
Yeah. That's a really interesting thing. What were you, Kelan?
Yeah, the point about Banchero, that just shows me that like as he gets better and gets older, that he could be a starter probably for the All-Star starters, like consistently be an All-Star. In terms of the guards, yeah, the LaMelo thing is interesting because like I agree, like he's all right. He's on a bad team. He's playing up a lot of numbers in terms of volume, not really efficient, right? But his style of play is entertaining, like for the ballers, like for the what you call hoopers, like the Twitter hoopers, right? Though that guy that's flashy, fancy, shoot all these shots, but score or whatever, right? He is entertaining, and you could argue that for the All-Star, that's kind of what you want. You want somebody that's kind of entertaining, like somebody who because I think there have been instances in the past where like players may not have been on good teams, but they were entertaining and they got maybe to be a starter or something, just based on the thing. But I do think Brunson is deserving of that starter thing. If whoever gets it, it's fine. But Brunson has basically been the best point guard in the East. Yeah, probably the best point guard in the East. Donovan Mitchell is a lot. Yeah, I think that's that. He definitely would get that started on, considering best player on the best team in the East, right? Like that, like that's an easy one. For the front court, yeah, pretty much I agree with Alan. Tones has been getting the New York boost while also playing very well. It's not like he's just getting the New York boost and just playing okay. But he's also been playing very, very well. The team is third. And then Giannis and Tatum are lost. Like as long as they are as long as they are, I never want to say healthy because they may still get voted even if they're healthy. I remember years where Yao Ming. I mean, the system was a little different back then, but Yao Ming got voted in as a starter, and he played like 5 games or 10 games, right? So,
everybody trying to vote for you.
Exactly. So, like, but as long as Tatum and Giannis they are going to be locks for All-Star starters for many years.
Just one thing, though, I have to disagree with you on the LaMelo Ball thing about entertainment. You want them to take the game more seriously.
Hey,
we're not just about entertainment here. Oh, sorry, you want to guys to take the game seriously. Starting LaMelo Ball is sending the wrong message to the players. You want to take this seriously. It's just not about entertainment apps from all the threes.
Yeah, I hear
you might be right. I know.
We'll see. Yes, no, in the West. You know that like 2 months ago, Denver was languishing down at the bottom, and we were talking about how Westbrook is playing based on Murray and who they hurt and who they coming back and all that. But no, is Denver really no a contender again, Alan?
I think they may be trending in that direction. The big issue early in the season was, I mean, Jokic was playing even better, which seemed unusual. But given how well he was last year, I didn't think, well, he won MVP last year. I mean, how much better is he supposed to get? But the main issue was Murray and Michael Porter Jr. were not playing as well. They were really underperformed, particularly Murray. But both those guys have really seen to hit their stride right now. They seem to have, I mean, Russell Westbrook has been playing well the last couple of years. I think a lot of people think he's only really now playing well, but I think the difference is that this is probably the perfect fit for him. Lakers were a terrible fit. Clippers were a bit better, but probably needed to lean on him too much for all the injuries that they had. This fit with Denver, where he's surrounded by shooters for the most part, even though they're not a high volume 3-point shooting team, but he's surrounded with shooters and being able to play off Jokic. I think this is really the perfect situation for him. He's really helping to lift those guys. I mean, they're really good with him in the starting lineup right now. So, and one of the main issues was that they had lost a lot of talent with ACP's departure, Bruce Brown's departure over the last couple of years. Management has forced Malone to play some young guys, and no guy usually likes to play the young players, but they seem to be responding pretty well for him right now. So I think with their continued ascent, with the main guys that you need, like the MP, Michael Porter Jr. and Murray together, I think they're actually trending in the right direction. Yeah, I think they could be a contender.
Oh boy, you are Kelan.
Yeah, everything that Alan said about Westbrook is spot on. Like this is not a Westbrook. Westbrook has been playing well over the last couple of years. It's just like Westbrook is the perfect example of fit matters a lot more necessarily than names and talent, right? Westbrook was in LA. You had Braun, AD. Like this is no disrespect to Braun because Braun has actually improved a lot as a shooter, right? But if Braun is like your best shooter on the team by far, or especially in a starting lineup, that's a bad maker of a team, right? If you have basically like AD as a non-shooter, or Westbrook as a non-shooter, Braun is always best with the ball, but he's the person who has to space the floor for the others. But then you can't like you have Westbrook in the corner or AD, like that's a terrible thing. Like that, we said that from the jump. When the time how we was like, this meant no sense. With the Clippers, no. Once again, Allen was spot on. The fit was better, had a lot more shooters, but because of the injuries, his role was extended. Like Westbrook is not a star anymore, but like it's almost like he had to be a star, especially in that 'cause he showed it in that Sun series that he can play. He was averaging like 24, 8, and like 7 or something. Like that, like that's all-star like numbers. But once again, at that stage, like he's overextended. In Denver, he was coming off of the bench. It was a little tricky at first, but once again, you're not trying to fit a new player. You know, all that will it'd be a little tricky at first. And then since he get put in the starting lineup, it's been like magic. Like he's been playing a lot better. Like Murray has also been playing a lot better. That's been a very big issue for them starting the season. Murray not playing as well. And MPJ too, when it was really Murray. Like Murray was struggling. And he's been playing a lot better. I had a 45-point game the other day. I had a string of 20 enough games, 20-point games, some 30s in there. And some of the young guys like Julian Strawhart, shooters, like playing the young guys more has been a benefit to them. So even with Aaron Gardner being in and out of the lineup, I think it'd be best to them to keep Westbrook in the lineup. If you bring Aaron Gardner off the bench, that's fine. But this lineup is working, and I don't think you should just because you can't start Aaron Gardner out Westbrook, right? That'd be kind of a similar thing to the 80, right? So you have to stagger them where you have one of them on the court at a time, and basically in this West, the only team that I can say for sure that will be better is the OKC Thunder. Any other team, I believe Denver can beat in a 7-game series. Like right now, like I can't say that for sure any other team is better than Denver because Grizzlies and Rockets, a lot of them are young. Nuggets, championship experience, a veteran team in a 7-game series, I would pick them. It's only the Thunder that, you know, would really make you pause for concern, but that's not to say that Nuggets still can't beat OKC in a 7-game series.
You know, OKC has issues to face. So
exactly. So in a 7-game series, so in the playoffs, yeah. So definitely trending towards that contender. So I would definitely say that they are a contender.
Yeah, well, I don't ever count them out because I always feel
I mean,
ain't got
your
your kid. I mean, like, I mean, the man's net basketball look like so easy.
Yeah.
I mean, he might jump out, you know, can't even jump over for but I mean, he might look burly and he look out of shape and all sorts of things. He might be killing.
So
right?
smart though.
So I don't think I ever count them out. But as you said, a lot of things depend on health in the NBA. And I think once they're healthy, they could get some trouble.
Yeah.
Then there's the talk about the Golden State Warriors. Now, apparently there's a mood saying around what you say, whatever is going around. It might be indigestion by somebody, but anyway, they say that they think that Golden State should blow up the team and trade Draymond and Steph. And they're looking it to the Celtics with Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett. So, Alan, what do you think? As a man who loves the Warriors, who do you think?
oh, Kuwait. Yeah, that's a tough one. I think for sentimental reasons, you like those guys to retire on the Warriors and you like those guys to stay together. But I think at this stage, if that is the case, they're going to go on basically on the losing side, and the team probably isn't going to get much better, and yeah, they're not going to compete over the last couple of years, and yeah, the organization is then going to have a longer rebuilding period through draft and whatnot. If the organization is looking purely based on just numbers and whatnot, yeah, they probably should go that route. They can still get good vibe for Steph and Draymond and kickstart their rebuild right now. But I don't think they felt great about letting Clay walk. I don't think they're then going to let Steph and Draymond go as well. 60% Steph, I mean, given Steph's stature and given that he's never really given any indication, he's very much been a company man.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not been one of those players that's really put a lot of pressure on organizations to do this and do that. So yeah, to trade Steph, I think might be a little bit weird for your organization. So yeah, if they're really this thinking honestly, yeah, it's probably the best move. But yeah, yeah, given the human factor, I don't think they will. I probably don't think they should.
What about you, Kelan?
Yeah. Business side. I remember. I think this is the same by Bill Belichick in NFL. Like, it's always good to trade away a year early instead of a year too late. And Steph still has a lot of value right now. Even Draymond, right? He still has value. So you would, from a business standpoint, to start that rebuild, as Alan said, it would make sense. But the human side does take into it. And I think you almost have to, whatever Steph kind of wants, I think he's earned whatever route he wants to finish. Right? If Steph wants to finish as a Warrior and in a situation where they might not get any better, they're gonna be losing, they're not really gonna be contending. Team might not be that good, but Steph and Dre want to. I feel like they should they've done so much for that organization over the last 10 years, 4 championships. Curry's been a unanimous MVP. And as Alan said, they feel bad about the Clay situation. It's tough to sell the fans Clay leaving and then you trade the race Steph and Draymond. Like I don't know how you'd ever recover
That'd be a
from
wreck.
from a fan base. I don't know how you can recover. It'd be a little worse if it was back in Oakland, right? Because them fans.
I don't know if they got a couple of flag, they might feel a little better.
I mean,
They feel a little better. You know?
I guess, but Steph has earned the right to do whatever. I mean, you have your highs and lows. If you've been a fan of an NBA team long enough, you have your highs, you have your lows, right? So it would kind of be a down period for the Warriors, but I think Steph has earned the right to, basically do whatever he wants at this point.
Two things I always say. Remember, we talk about fit. I think Draymond fits how the Warriors play. I don't see him fitting in any other team like how he fits the Warriors. I just feel if they trade him away, he'd just become a scrub. Not really a scrub, but he would not be as effective as he is in he could still play deep, but I don't think he would be as effective as he is in Warriors. Steph, though, I agree that Steph earned it right because he has really improved the value of that entire franchise. I mean, that entire franchise now is worth billions, right? I mean, he's the highest paid NBA player for the last 8 years or so, but I mean, they made that back, tenfold. So I understand that, but I don't think Steph will want to go just hanging on and just playing and just getting beat up. I think he will retire first because he got so many other things going on besides the basketball. I think he would just decide, I'll go and spend some time in those other things than just be trying to keep the Warriors relevant, yet they hamstrung because of his salary and also because they don't want to offend him, right? So that'd be an interesting thing. And I agree, trade Steph and Draymond and got a rat in San Francisco.
It's true.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. Steph is returning end of the season.
Sources. The thing is, though, he has been talking about retirement a little bit more I think he mentioned that it is something that he thinks about a little bit more now, obviously a couple years back. So yeah, I think that he might probably retire first before like it really gets to a point where like maybe he's like averaging like 15 points a game and outside. Yeah, I think he definitely retired first.
Yeah, I also think that he has been, as Alan said, he's been a company man all his NBA career, and I don't think he will change. But I also think that he does not want to see the Warriors just turn into, just to be the doormats of the NBA again. So I think if he could help them to get, if he could see a way that he could probably get them some other people just to be, I don't think he want that his motivation to win that championship was as much as when he won the fourth one. The fourth one, everybody, they had the infamous tape with the people that first saying how many steps and people put up zeros.
Zero, yeah.
Right?
He was definitely motivated there.
Right.
Yeah.
So he was motivated. I don't think that he's that motivated now. I think, yeah, he will look to be contender. Yeah, he won't play for that big stage. But I don't think it is as, top on his list anymore. I think, yeah, he would, if he do it, he would do it. But I think that if he looks down and see, Warriors just, languishing in mediocrity, I think he will retire first. Well, that's the
Happening right now, though. But hey,
yeah, but he got to last the All-Star break. After the All-Star break, I think a lot of things can happen.
right.
Now, what about the West All-Stars, though? The West All-Stars, there been some interesting takes on the West All-Stars. I go with you first there, Kelan.
Okay. For the guards, actually is a lot. And I think Curry's going to end up being the starter, right? They are not that bad like the Hornets, where it's like, oh, he's just putting up numbers on like a bad team. Not like it's crazy numbers. Obviously, Steph's numbers are down, but compared to usual. But I think the coaches and the media are going to vote in Steph. I mean, it's Steph, and
It's like going south, bro.
Yeah, and I mean, come on. I feel like that's a layup. Like, and then correct me if I'm wrong. Is there any other player that you could really think of that should really push him out in the West in terms of guards?
I probably would have gone with Luca, but
Luca's been hurt. Is that no? If Luca
So-
was staying, yeah, but Luca's been hurt so long that
yeah. The only other person is probably Ant, but
yeah, and really and truly, the Timberwolves are not much better than the Warriors anyway. So yeah, in terms of the guards, I feel like that one is pretty much set.
actually it goes without saying. So
Yeah, actually is.
Yeah,
It's probably MVP.
correct.
The front court is it's interesting.
Right now they have Jokic, James, and Durant as the three there.
Yeah, I know. It's only interesting because they want Embiid as a starter, but but if you're being thing, KD, I mean, Bron, Jokic, I feel like those ones are pretty set. I feel like they are going to be thing. Wemby will have his time when he will be a all-star starter for sure, but I think the Suns. I think also the Spurs record of late they've been stumbling a little bit. So KD, the Suns, the Lakers, and the obviously the Nuggets being higher, right? I think they're probably deserving of that starter spot. So Wemby is the only person that I can think of that could challenge for that thing. But those three are probably the right choices.
Okay, well, I really can't argue with anything there. What about you, Alan? What do you think? What do you think about the West All-Stars?
Yeah, I agree on the guard side. SJ and Curry for the two guards in the West. I think that makes more sense there. Like I said, only Ant could potentially swap him for Curry, but especially with the game being going to State. Yeah, I think Curry definitely should.
Yeah.
The front court, though, as you know, the All-Star, they have changed their format in terms of the lineups. Because it used to be two guards, two forwards, and the center. Because the center position was so terrible over the last few years, prior to the NBA.
Yeah.
They eliminated the center off and just have three front court positions. But me this year, my three front court positions would be three centers. I'll have Jokic, Anthony Davis, and Victor as my three front court players, along with Curry and SGA.
All right.
Bring my center position in a big way for me.
I really, it would be a real big thing for sure. I can't see anybody arguing at that point.
It's not a pleasing looking lineup per se, but to me, those are the best three front court players in my opinion. So
agree.
far this year.
Yeah, and then it's like, I mean, all the names that we call are going to be all stars. It's just who is going to start and who isn't.
Correct.
Right? So
although since they're going to be technically three different teams, all the men that's starting for their teams anyhow. So
that is true. I forgot about the new format. So yeah, more like that whole 3-team thing no mix. Like the starters almost feel kind of irrelevant. Like you have the starters, but like, is it they're starters? So like they are no guaranteed to start or whichever team they're on. Like I don't know how that works. So like the whole starter thing doesn't really have as much
it doesn't
value.
make sense.
If you're gonna have three separate teams and then like somebody that might be on the bench might end up starting and all that. So it's
I don't want to
get into the format.
I don't want to talk about the format.
Yeah.
I didn't see how it's going to go.
Yeah.
Right before you start passing any judgment on it.
Yeah,
because I know the players didn't like the in-season tournament, but now everybody, got parades and things and events. So, so it's been different. So we'll see how it works out. But of course, this is court in session, and we don't go anywhere unless we have the pick 5. Last week, I did some good stuff. 4 out of 5. Kelan was 3 out of 5, and Alan might go back to be on assignment because he was 2 out of 5. But got a chance to redeem himself with this week. This week on Wednesday, we have Minnesota at Dallas.
I go Minnesota.
Where you going, Minnesota? That's Alabama, Minnesota.
Getting Dallas.
You getting Dallas? I think go Dallas too.
Y'all go opposite to this round though.
On Thursday, Portland at Orlando. Again at Orlando.
Imagine. No one gonna say. Wagner might even be back then.
Okay.
It might be, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Friday is Sacramento at Denver. 2 teams playing really well.
They have been. Who's at home?
Denver.
All right, Denver.
What about you, Alan?
Yeah, Nuggets too, yeah.
All right, well, I ain't good Nuggets too. Saturday, Minnesota at Brooklyn.
Oh, we late when we this.
Sorry, not Minnesota. Miami at Brooklyn.
Oh, I was about to say is the Timberwolves week. Miami at Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I don't think it's Jimmy will ruin the vibes any more than they is, so I'll go with the Heat.
You gonna be Heat?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Alan?
Yeah, I go Heat too. Brooklyn really been struggling recently. So.
Yeah.
Well, I give me Heat because I have no faith in Brooklyn, none whatsoever.
I don't think Brooklyn has any faith in Brooklyn.
And then the final game, the 5th game, is OKC at Portland.
This seems like, I don't know. This could be
again for OKC.
This could either be a really easy week or a really horrible week because I feel like some of these are layups. But I gave it the OKC, obviously.
Okay. You
OKC
do, Alan?
as well.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that is the pick 5. And before we go, I just want to ask, I will go with you first, Kelan.
Sorry. I think the mic was a little muted.
Okay, who do you call again?
What do I call a game? Damn. Game. I call a game on Kobe Bryant. Might seem weird, right? But a lot of people have been, no. The reason why I've been saying a lot of discussions about Kobe Bryant and a lot of discord and slander on Kobe Bryant in terms of him not being a sidekick, him not being top 10, him being less than Kevin Durant, and all that sort of stuff. But I don't understand. Have you not heard Chandler Parsons? He said that he picked it's KD over Kobe. So I don't know where all of this slander is coming from, but I call a game on Kobe Bryant.
What about you, Alan? You call game one.
Call game on Jimmy Butler, but having the worst return from a suspension ever. Compare your return from suspension to
Michael Jordan.
my Jordan's return, really number 45, using the statement, similar type statement from your agent. Yeah, that has to be your all-time worst. So yeah, call game one on Butler.
I forgot about that.
Well, I call game on Novak Djokovic, who beat Alcaraz in I think it's quarterfinals of the Australian Open. And Djokovic now has shown that he is a real top dude. I mean, they always knew he was a top dude, but I mean, he twilight his career if he could beat somebody of the caliber of Alcaraz. He is really a real top tennis player. So I will call game for him.
Greatest of all time?
I ain't going that far.
He might have the hardware to prove it.
Well, he'll see. They got too many other people this GOAT conversation is always get to be, he's got these GOAT conversations that everybody's have, and you only know from the people that you watch playing. All right. So then when you don't see other people, and then you made statements like you used to play against plumbers and blah blah blah. I call that rubbish. Because everybody feel that all of a sudden now basketball only start playing in 2000. But there was basketball playing all the world. It's just the game has gone to a point where it is more entertainment than it is really skill to me. And analytics have taken a lot of the basketball, and rightly so. If you do your analytics and you say that a tree is in the corner is more, if I can hit 30%, 35% of those like in games, then go for it. But I know that there are a lot of bad teams who try to use this philosophy, and they're getting worse. Anyway, that is court in session. And for right now, the court is adjourned.